Hi, it's Bill Cody for Straight Circle Martial Arts. This is work against the elbows viewed really close. I do a lot of quick overview videos for you guys because people like to see them, but sometimes we want to do a little more in depth. And I know they're hard to see at distance, so I'm going to move a little closer today so you can see what I'm actually doing. So elbows are interesting. I really like elbows, but you have to understand how they work. So say I want to take him on this elbow plane. What I see a lot of problems with this is people go like this and they will bend like this and they will push. There's no strength here, none, because there's nothing supporting this. It's very hard to do. When you're working against an elbow, number one, it's important that you stretch them. If you do not stretch them, this is going to bend, and then you're no longer doing an elbow like this. You have to turn it into something else. It can be done, it's just different. So ideally you like to stretch him and you need to turn him. Remember, the elbows go where you point. So wherever that little hole is, that's where it's going. If I'm like this, it's up. If I'm like this, it's down. That's all it is. So when you do an elbow, ideally, I need to expand. And I use my fingers. See how I stretch him? Now look, he rolls. Now I want to go down. So you see the stretch, and then here. It's not here, it's here. Now look, to be fair, I could do it with my shoulders, I could do it with my chest, I could do it with my shoulders this way, it doesn't really matter. But the point is he has to be stretched, you have to have good leverage, and he has to go the way of the hole. Wherever that is, that's where we go. When I'm doing this type of work, ideally what I want is the elbow bends this way, right? Most people will resist you this way. If you feel this, they know, like they fight because they don't want to get hurt. But when you turn it, you get a little more out of it. They don't actually feel it. Now, the problem with showing these in close is you can't see my body. What happened with that is not just I pulled, is I transferred to the other foot. And when I transferred to the other foot, I got weight. But if you watch, you see how I creep that hand in there and pull it. And it's two, I push, like I'm punching him and I pull it, which allows it to move. Now, a lot of these elbow things are not meant to end fights. They're just, you're wrestling with somebody, you don't have the shot you want, and you're just trying to create a little gap or an opening so you can hit them properly. So sometimes you just want to do simple things to move somebody, like see that finger? And you just go into the elbow, and just, now look, I step away, I don't stay in the middle. If I go like this, he's gonna punch me in the mouth. So little shift and little back, and what I'm doing right there. Can be done this way, coming from the back. I've done videos on this. Look, when you do this, important, it's not that you just pull. You need to rotate into this to suck it in, to make, if you just pull, it's not enough. Like, I wanna almost rotate and back, like that. So step like that. So I need this stretched. One hand's going one way, that's going that way. Again, just a quick pop, so I can continue hitting him. That's all I want. I got in, like this, same thing. I come in. Now, I have to roll. If you just pull, it doesn't do much. If I roll it, now I have leverage. Now I have strength. I could do it like this, it's not as good. So if I roll like this, take that pinky, go over the top, and that's where I put it. Just over and down. Like there's a lot of motions like this. Like they look strange, but it's because it's like a snake, right? You're trying to choke off his movement, but you're also trying to rotate him so you're not fighting on a linear plane, right? Because if we were like this, it's now who's stronger. If he's pushing one way, I'm pushing one way, we're on like this. But if I take it and I circle it, it takes that strength away from him. Well, it's the same thing with everything else. If I go like this and I pull against him, it's one thing, but if I take him and circle it and then move it, it's a lot easier than if I just try to pull against him. This one, I'm a big fan. Look, turn. Get your armpit there, right? And when you do this, what you want to do is you want to just tip. So one part has to go down, one part has to go up, like that. Simple, like that. It can be done the other way also. But I could also come to the inside like this if I wanted to do it. So if you look, I come over. And again, here's the key. I have to have this go like this. Like it's two motions. If you just go one direction, it doesn't work. It's a lever, right? You need two actions, 1 and 2. If you just go 1, it doesn't do anything. If you just go 2, it doesn't do anything. You need both. This, look, just roll. See how like I'm in. And this works better when you hit it, but I'm not going to do that for him. You like see how there's a roll there? Because you want to suck this in forward so that you can go right to your stuff. Again, you know, it's because we were in here and I hit him, and then I saw something that I wanted to set him up so that I could go into something else. It's not because I'm trying to do this. It's because, you know, ideally I just hit him, right? Or just put him down. That would be ideal. But life's not ideal. I mean, how many times do you get grabbed and then you realize you have to find something, pinky, that, and there comes the elbow again. Now you notice how I hook this, like this, right? So there's that rotation and this, and then down. Sometimes you can figure 4, right, like this, to get a little more leverage. So you have 1 and 2, like that, which is nice. Passes, same thing, look, just hook like this, and beyond, I can catch either hand. So it's like, it's not a grab as much as it's like a hook, right? Because I want to let go and hit him. I'm not trying to grab him. So I pass it, I take it, I move it, right? And then you start playing with it. Now, when you start playing with elbows, right, how you do this is you should start just practicing, slow, going from one to the next to see how, like that one, elbow, right? Or this too, right? I would hope we all know this one. Like arms here, like this, body up, you know. It could also be done this way, coming underneath this way, which is a little worse, but you know, this is quicker and easier to do, just, well, it's different. Now look, he changed, this is important to know. I was gonna do this one, right? But he turned. So you have to understand, oh, that's not there anymore. Now look, watch this, I'm gonna do this. See how I grabbed him here? Now watch, now I go this way. So I have that 2 points of support still. I have the one from the back, I have the one from the side. And when you're doing these drills, that's an important thing to understand. Sometimes your partner, not because he's being a dink, just moves differently. So you said, oh, I'm gonna do this one, but he moved somewhere else. Well, good, because that's how you learn. Because in real situations, they don't just give it to you and say, here it is, have a good time. People move and they flow, and you have to recognize when this is. Now, when you get better with this too, ideally what you want to do is you want to learn how to do this and play with it and then work into other things. So you're playing with your joints, you're hitting things, you know, you're doing things into blocks, and you're coming into, you know, holds, and you get your whole arsenal involved. You know, a little close, I can't really show kicks, but they're in there too, and this, you know, and come right back into there. And you play around, and you just all the time experiment. Now, again, I know this isn't a fight. He's not resisting me. This is a warm-up drill to teach it. As you get better with this, there should be some resistance. You know, and how you do that is you start out slow. Like, I go like this, and he doesn't allow it. Okay, I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him, we're gonna take it, now I'm gonna go into it. And then we go to another motion. We're wrestling, and he doesn't allow me to do what I want. Okay, now we're gonna hit and go to something else, and then we're gonna work into it. And then eventually you should go to free flow work. But you have to start slow to learn it. You know, I get comments all the time, oh, this isn't a real fight. I know, they're not real fights, it's a drill, relax. So take your time, play with the locks. Watch, see the roll? Now look at my pinky, this is important, right there. See, I hook it in like that? You wanna lead with the fingers sometimes, like this. And then over top. So go home and play with him, try different things, experiment, see how it works. Remember, if he's fighting you and the arm's bent, come to the inside of the elbow. If you can stretch him, go to the outside of the elbow. But, you know, don't try and force things that aren't there. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Ask questions, leave comments. We've had tremendous growth with this channel recently, and I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. Let's keep it up.